Today, we'll show you how to use the Unified Platform for Modeling, or UPmod, to share your model with stakeholders more efficiently and effectively. UPmod allows you to share your model to the web in an interactive, beautiful format like you see here. You can include explanatory text and graphics, interactive values, and output results in table and chart formats. You can even embed your models on your own website or just share a link to the hosted platform. It takes just a few minutes of configuration to set up. Let's take a look at how to do that. Let's start with getting your Excel file ready for import. UPmod needs to know your model's inputs and outputs. You can easily provide this information using a naming convention for named ranges. To set inputs, the naming convention is input_value. For this model, I'm going to select this range of cells and name the range input_table. We then tell UPmod how to output your model results by providing one or more named ranges for UPmod to reproduce. To set outputs, the naming convention is simply output_value. For this model, I will give two named ranges. The names can be customized to suit your model. The first range I'll name output_OWSA, which is an abbreviation from this particular model. And the second range I will name output_results. You can also provide background content about your model to UPmod. Perhaps you've written an overview summarizing your model and would like that content to be a part of your model deployment. You can do this using cells, named ranges, or even text objects. The naming convention is background_value. That's it. After I save this file, it should be ready to import into UPmod. To import your model, simply drag and drop the file into the UPmod web interface. After your model is imported, you are presented with a table for each input range you defined. For my model, I defined just one input range, so UPmod gives me one table to configure. Using the dropdowns, I first tell the platform which column represents my input values. These are the values that you and your stakeholders can tweak to affect the model's output. I also need to tell UPmod which column has the title or label for the input values. If you have included a more detailed description of your values, you can set that as well by setting a column as the description. This creates useful helper text in your model for others to see. Since UPmod lets stakeholders configure the input values, you may define default values in your model as well as minimum and maximum values. Click Save, wait a moment, and you're ready to work with your model. At this point, your model is ready to go. This next part of the tutorial focuses on optional edits you can make to improve the user experience. UPmod displays the different sheets in your model as individual web pages. Here, you can customize the model's appearance, edit and rearrange the content, and even set up user interface tools for editing the model. First, I've decided I want to rearrange the order of my sheets. Now, I want to edit my model background and insert a couple of images from the sheet. Clicking Edit opens an interactive markdown editor where I can tweak text formatting, edit content, and insert images from my model or even from the web. Diving into my model's values, I think it will be easier for my stakeholders to play with the model if I give some fields a user interface. For example, this field represents values on a range of 0 to 1. A typo here could drastically affect the model's results. UPmod enables me to set this field as a number slider. By setting a min, max, and a step value, this becomes an intuitive and error-proof way for others to view this model. Note the info icon by the value title. If I roll my mouse over it, I see a little tooltip. This was the description column I configured during import. If this field needs a more detailed description, UPmod makes that easy too. I click Edit, then click on Helper, click Modal, and edit the content as needed. The content's saved automatically, so I can just click out when done, then click on the information icon and see my modal with detailed information and optional references. UPmod also allows connecting to an external data source. Here, I will load the US population from the census.gov API. Details for how to do this are in the UPmod documentation. Let's take a look at the reports page. The output sections I configured during import appear here, and you can easily configure how your results will show, such as in table or chart format. Lastly, I just realized that I forgot to format some values in Excel. UPmod will automatically import value formats from my spreadsheet, but I can adjust them in UPmod too. Here, I want this number to render as a dollar value with a comma separator. Now we are ready to run the model to see what my stakeholders will also see. Click the menu and click Run. This is what the others will see when you share your model with them. UPmod presents them with an interface where they can navigate through the model as they see fit, learning about your assumptions, safely editing values, yet never at risk of breaking your calculations. They can now focus on understanding your model and gaining insights, rather than wasting time on the spreadsheet's technical details. They can even download a chart to put in their own work. Want to share your model with a broader audience or the general public? Open the menu and click Get Shareable Link. Set your model to public, enter an optional password, and you're all set. Now you can share your model, confident that stakeholders are working with the latest, greatest version and not a copy of an outdated Excel file you emailed them weeks ago. We built UPmod to save you time and hassle in sharing your models to other stakeholders, allowing you and your team to focus on your work rather than managing several spreadsheet files. This makes UPmod the most scalable, secure, and cost-effective way to share an interactive, web-based version of a model.